Hello, I'm Luke Nella and welcome to Best Few Plays of the Week. In this episode we have a steel monster from Japan, a bat fighting against the clock, and the King of Mines. Let's go! Let's begin with our Confederate Ramandra and their T-71 light tank. The battle is a Tier 8 encounter at Malinovka, played on an EU server. The matchmaking is as good as it gets for a T-71, and with high-velocity APCR rounds as its standard ammunition, the gun should punch through anything in this battle. The horizon is brimming with targets, so our hero gets busy helping their crews breathe easier. An LTTB challenges our Confederate, but the autoloader makes short work of the brave fool. Okay, where's the rest of them? Ramandra rolls out, only to reverse back quickly when the question gets answered. The T-71 gives out better than it takes, but this tank isn't built to trade fire with anybody. All fixed, let's go! That's a nice hold down position, mate, but what if someone attacks from the side? The foe is still there after the reload, so Ramandra adds the finishing touch. An IS-6 gives chase, and our champion drills it full of holes. It looks like the Reds are starting to run out of vehicles. With a lack of targets, the battle seems to stall for a while, but eventually the Reds make a break for it. Attempts at long range don't accomplish much, but it's all about finding a good position. The team's capture is almost complete, but there's still an opportunity to put some hurt onto an IS-3 before the end. Impressive and balanced, with nearly 5,000 damage both dealt and assisted. This was more a display of skill than high drama, but well worth the Confederate award. Kirby Mara is a beast of living steel in the form of a Japanese monster called Oni. As with any good monster film, the stage is set in a snowy cityscape of an American server, which looks suspiciously similar to Himmelsdorf. Anyway, the creature heads for the banana, but the army's opening blow drives it into retreat. But only for a moment. The Oni is an atomic horror and won't be stopped. Some puny fool enters the capture circle, but the noise of the siren will only make things worse. Kirby Mara trundles forward. More attempts at slowing the beast come from the side, but it won't be enough to save them. There's a tank up ahead. It takes a hit from atomic breath, but keeps moving. Striking again and again, the monster wails upon the metal contraption. It turns to run, only to be destroyed anyway. You! Stop making that noise! Roar! After stepping on that noisy little runt, it's time for payback. The powerful heavy tries to fight back, but like any good monster, this Oni has deadly breath that burns. There's another Japanese behemoth up on the hill. This is unacceptable. It has to go. The rival hides behind cover. Kirby Mara will have to climb up there for a proper fight. Some strange little machine gets in the way though. Although it's easily swatted aside, it gave our monster an idea. Surely the wailing of the siren will bring the rival monster out of hiding as well. What a cunning plan! Unfortunately, the defenders of this story are even more cunning, and Kirby Mara lumbers straight into their trap. The Oni's hide is thick, but even it's starting to bleed. Finally, the defending monster comes out for the final showdown. Gets knocked out with one punch. A bit anticlimactic, that. The remaining forces are hardly worth the trouble, but Kirby Mara swipes at it anyway. Victory by capture and destruction. That was a tense movie, but sometimes the monsters win. Long live the Oni and Kirby Mar, our North American conqueror. Next we have XM returning, but this time playing King of the Hill with a Strum M4257 Alt A2. As last time, we'll lovingly call him Zep. The map is, of course, Mines, and we're on an American server. Our Top Gun sprints for the hill, but is only the third to reach the entrance. Still, it's not about getting there first, but rather taking and holding the crown. The Chaffee hesitates, letting our champion reload in peace. When it finally makes its move, it's easy prey for the autoloader. For now, the king reigns unchallenged, and the remaining rounds are enough for a second kill. A camping TD seems to believe it's in cover. It is sadly mistaken. The KV-1S doesn't worry about the King of the Hill either. That kind of arrogance gets you clipped down. Speaking of arrogance, maybe the king shouldn't be quite so bold when waiting for the reload. There are no targets in sight, so their majesty relaxes with a spot of rock climb. Here we go, a fat and juicy heavy tank. A single drum isn't quite enough to kill it, and the heavy heads up the hill to challenge the king's rule. The upstart bounces a shell, and the king's royal backside takes a stinging hit. A jumbo tries to finish the job, but luckily whiffs the shot. Our royal Top Gun reloads, and decides to finish off Armada. It doesn't go according to plan, and the M42 loses what little hit point buffer remained. The Reds are well in the lead, and our champion is almost dead with only 5 kills. This doesn't look good. The jumbo comes forth, and the king has to defend the hill. That makes Top Gun at least. Finishing off the Jackson is easy and painless, but a camping Wolverine proves elusive. It makes a run for it, but this just makes it an easier target. A Swedish TD comes to claim the crown, and the king doesn't have the HP to face it head on. The standoff is tense, but the pretender doesn't know about the king's loyal subjects. Off with his head! 2 versus 3 is much better, especially as it soon turns into 2 versus 2. We think the last red tank is tooling about on the island. It's hard to imagine what its plan was, but honestly, the king doesn't care. All that remains is flushing out the arty. The king's huntsman drives it into view, and their majesty pulls the trigger. Good game. 12 kills, a respectable amount of damage, and a magnificently stubborn defense of the hill. What more could we ask? Hail to the king, baby. Now we'll switch over to the European region, where Craso03 teaches scouting in an AMX 1390. Wait, Craso03 was a scout in Season 2, last time teaching us how to do it in a VK 2801 on Abbey. This time it's Fiery Assailant, which tends to be good for light tanks. Let's see how it plays out. Craso03 sprints up the hill, but what can you do here without support from the team? A couple of heavies turn up, but fail to notice the AMX. The IS-3 seems to be suffering from target fixation. As it turns out, it's a terminal case. An IS-7 shows up and takes the rest of the drum through its side plates. It seems like a Löwe wants to join the fight, serving as a good distraction. Craso03 pounces on the top tier heavy, but the results are somewhat mixed. Then again, that was a lot of spotting damage just now. Nobody has scouted the southern end of the map, so that'll be the next mission. Craso03 crosses the tracks like a ninja, hiding the 1390 behind a bush. This ISU is toast. Fire at will, guys! That IS-7 is still up on the hill, but not for long. Some Reds remain unspotted, camping near the corner of the map. Assaulting that position would be difficult, but look what happens when Craso03 lights one of them up. There's another one. and the rest of them. It looks like the opponents have no idea who is revealing their positions. Our scout fires off a salvo without getting spotted, like a pro. Let's see if we can get a little closer. Oops, I guess that's a no. Well, maybe that's enough stealth for one game anyway, as this is almost over. Cresso03 has a go at finishing off the stragglers, but teammates are already on it. And that is game. Nice! That's how a scout breaks a camp. Cresso03 scored only 2 kills, but dealt significant damage and did an absolute ton by detection. Excellent work. For our finale, we have our third American replay, being a crucial contributor. It's Milk Mize who fights in the Bat Chatillon 25-ton at 6 feet line. The Bat rolls into town with a friend, setting off fireworks and putting the smackdown on a lure. There's nothing much going on in the city centre, so Milk Mize goes looking for trouble. Wrecking the Bulldog is satisfying, but its return shot already wastes the repair kit. The arty goes down in seconds, and the spare shell puts a nice dent into an S-tank. Quickly, the pair of bats heads back to town, wading straight into battle. An E-75 does get taken out, but otherwise the raid is pretty much a total disaster. Get back to work, Milk Mize. We're counting on you to turn this game around. Taking out a second SPG is a good start, but remember the S-Tank? It remembers you. There aren't enough rounds in the drum to kill the TD, so it's best to cut its track and run. The last teammate is an SPG, and it's not long for this world either. The end game is 1 against 4. A desperate snapshot doesn't even come close to the rival bat, so our hero runs away. Bravely, of course. The rest of the shells are spammed at the S-Tank, with the last one even doing some damage. Things are looking pretty grim. The Reds team's bat gives chase, but Milk Mize proves to be the better shot. Have you noticed they still have an SPG? Well, they do, and it's not asleep either. It could be time to find it and take it out. As luck would have it, it's out here in the field. The opponent's shotgun misfires, and its escape attempt adds to the comedy. That still leaves 2, one of which is this tier 10 beast. It may look like our champion is running away again, but this is more a strategic repositioning. See, this is much better. Bang! Bang! And nope. If you're confused, look at the ammo count. With 3 shells left, there's no sense in risking a bounce off the frontal armor. Setting up the next shot and bang! Now it should be killable. 2 rounds, 2 opponents, and less than 60 seconds on the clock. The S-Tank is spotted, but as we saw earlier, it's very bouncy. The opponent retreats, revealing its soft side. Boom! That leaves the Jagdpanzer, but is there enough time to line up a shot? Amazingly, it's facing the wrong way. The timer counts down to 0, but the round is in the air. Victory against the clock. That didn't look like a last-second victory, more like an after-second victory. Considering it was the last shell as well, it might be impossible to cut it any finer than that. What a show! That's all for this episode. 3 North American replays, but none from Asia. Although, 2 returning heroes. Incredible. I'm Luke Nella, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Kirby Ma will have to climb up there for a pop-up. A popper fight? I wonder what a popper fight would look like.